Hello, Rockwood South families. It's good to talk to you again on this Friday afternoon. And since it is a Friday, that means it's time for another blast. All right, everyone. So on this Friday, we are going to start off with looking at our cooperative learning focus. And I brought some teachers in to help explain what happened in their academic lab class this week. Check it out.
All right, so I am here with our eighth grade math team, and okay, you're throwing Barbie off the porch and then off a roof with your academic lab class, and you're telling me this is all about math. So explain to me what's going to happen here.
So we picked an extension this time for our academic lab, and the kids are taking some data to figure out how to give Barbie the best thrill without hurting her. So what they did is they started by measuring with a rubber band for a bungee rope, I guess, and they measured one rubber band, two rubber bands, all the way up to 6 rubber bands.
And they did this part in the classroom.
They did this part in the classroom.
Okay.
And then they used math to predict how many rubber bands they would need to drop her off the front porch at the school. So we all went outside and we measured that distance. It was 94 inches that Barbie was going to fall.
Okay.
So then they figured out a math equation. They plotted the points. They figured out a math equation. And then they determined how many rubber bands they thought it would take to give Barbie the best throw.
So let's take a look a little bit at what Miss Murray and our eighth grade math teachers were talking about. You can see the setup that the kids were doing within the classroom and just how much cooperation and measurement they were doing behind the scenes to make sure that Barbie could bungee jump effectively. And I'm going to flip over and show you an outside view where you can see Barbie is in full action with her bungee jump. Let's see how that ended up and were our kids successful.
All right, so what was their success rate? Like, were they successful, or did we have some epic failures with this Barbie?
So 2 groups were successful.
Good.
They really did a great job. The one Barbie's hair just barely grazed the ground.
Ooh.
A couple Barbies did not have so much fun. But the kids learned that the rubber bands are a little stretchy. So it does change your data a little bit when you add more rubber bands because it makes it bounce a little more. So we did that this week. We're going to come back next week and we had a great discussion about why did some of the Barbies not make it. And now we're going to come back next week and give them the dimensions to drop her from the roof.
Oh my goodness.
And see what they can come up with.
All right.
So you can truly see that math team is having a lot of fun with their students in academic lab, and more to come next week when Barbie bungee jumps off the top of our roof. Of course, our teachers will be doing that, and the students will be involved in the measurement component. Awesome job to our 8th grade PLT and our students in their enrichment math academic lab. And now I want to move us forward to looking at reflection in learning. And so this week, I had an opportunity to go into Miss Glover's social studies class. She had 6th grade students. And in that class, Miss Young, our instructional facilitator, was leading the class. The entire class was designed to support students in better understanding the claim evidence reasoning process and how to write a claim evidence reasoning essay, as well as how to evaluate one. You can see here that the students started off with sentence strips. It was highly collaborative as kids were trying to determine which strips represented claim, which ones represented the evidence, and which ones represented reasoning. And then they began to put those together. She continued on after the sentence strips by having students begin to learn how can you use the scoring guide for claim evidence reasoning to evaluate a sample essay. And that is exactly what they are shown doing here. Once she guided through this process with the students and students had an opportunity to practice, they then went back to the CER essays they had written earlier in the week and had an opportunity to revise and edit and improve their own CER essays. Just masterfully done. I loved seeing Miss Young and Miss Glover working in the classroom with our students. And not only was this highly reflective learning, it was also extremely collaborative. Excellent job. Now I would like to switch gears to a celebration that occurred this week at Rockwood South. Check it out. As you can see from that quick video, our intercultural night was, oh my goodness, it went just so well. I loved seeing all of our families there. It was great to see how many kids were just able to share about their culture. And I personally learned so much from being at this event. My goodness, our kids are so talented and they displayed so much courage in being able to participate in that talent show, the fashion show, the many events that we had. If you didn't get a chance to check out our intercultural night this year, please make sure you check it out next year, because I'm telling you what, it is growing every single year. And I want to give a special shout out to our PSO. You guys are such huge partners for us in helping us to design this amazing event for our kids and families. And then to Miss Jolene Strecker-Sayer. She is one of our teachers here at Rockwood South. Your partnership with this plan, we couldn't have done it without you. And this, again, such a special event. Make sure you check it out next year. And with that, guys, it's a wrap up for our week. We are going to continue map testing into next week. So please see below in the events section of our newsletter so that you're prepared for all of our many upcoming events. Remember, this weekend, we do have our Adopt a Pet program or event that's going on Saturday. So I hope to see you there if you want to check out those details in the newsletter as well. All right, guys, we hope to see our kids on Monday. We're looking forward to it. Have an awesome weekend.